Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for all things FPL. Today I'm going to be doing for you a Game Week 33 plus team selection video, and we're also going to be going over what I've done, what I've got with my team so far in Game Week 32 plus. I know there's a few more games to be played. They'll probably already be played by the time you watch this video, but still, we'll go over and we'll have a look. Oh, I'm telling you what, these fixtures all over the place are really messing with my YouTube schedule, but I'm still appreciative that we've got football non-stop. But before we get on with the with my score so far, if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing. I'm aiming to get 1,000 subscribers by the start of the next season, the 2020 to 2021 season, and I can only do that with your help. So please do consider sticking around, click that subscribe button and ring my little bell as well. So let's have a look at what I've done so far with my team. So, I mean, the big talking point here is that I went with Aubameyang captain in the end, who hasn't plays against Norwich. So by the time you watch this video, you'll either be laughing at me hysterically that I got this so wrong, putting my faith in Aubameyang, or you'll be saying, oh damn, maybe I should have been having him as captain as well. Maybe a couple of you have got Aubameyang captain too. But basically, yeah, Pope looking good again with the 9 points, so I'm really happy about that. I'm so happy I selected Pope in that position in the end. That seems to be going really well, and I hope it continues as well. I know a lot of people are very angry at everyone who owns Pope at the moment. He seems like the essential goalkeeper. Just he's scoring so high every week. Wan-Bissaka again. I know a lot of people have either tripled up in Manchester United's attack or maybe even gone for Maguire in defence. And I think by this point we've got to say Wan-Bissaka, he's just being so creative. He's playing hard at the pitch. I was watching the Manchester United game. There was one point where Wan-Bissaka was the most far forward and most central player in the entire pitch. He was the closest to the opposition's goalie. So that was really quite crazy. And it definitely gives me faith to keep Wan-Bissaka because he is trying to be very creative, and I want to keep him in there for just that purpose. Doherty, another clean sheet, very nice indeed. Lascelles, I think, can do something against Bournemouth, but again, Alexander-Arnold, I'm not expecting too much. Whatever happens. I'll take it, I'll accept it. And then, moving into midfield, Fernandes absolutely smashed it. Wish I captained him, really, but what can you do about that now? Martial with the 3 points, a little bit disappointing. I was going to captain him, actually, but it seems like you never really know which attacker from Manchester United is going to bang, but they are doing really well. They're doing so well at the moment. De Bruyne's got to stay in my team, but Liverpool game might be a bit of a mulligan, a bit of a write-off. And then Calvert-Lewin, not expecting too much, but if he gets me a goal or an assist, I'll be very happy. And then Jimenez, I know a lot of people captain him, but I was never too keen about captaining Jimenez, and I said it in a few videos, just because Aston Villa have improved so much defensively and don't roll over so easily since the break. And Wolves aren't really a team that rolls over their opposition anyway. They will win, they will be consistent, but they don't roll over an opposition. Maybe slightly disappointed Jimenez didn't get a goal or maybe an assist, but I wasn't expecting massive things, and I do want a player that will bang. And who's going to bang? Aubameyang. I will be eating those words tomorrow, I am very sure about that. But we can talk about that later. So, moving on to my team for this week. Okay, so I'm lining up, as things stand, exactly the same, with one different transfer in mind that will change things slightly. So, Pope in goal. He's got Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United never been a free scoring team and looking even worse at the moment, quite frankly. So no big hopes for Sheffield United to attack Pope too much. I think Pope is in line for another clean sheet, some more bonus points just to frustrate all you non-Pope owners once more. Alexander-Arnold, I don't even know if he's going to start or not against Aston Villa. It would be a good game to rest him, really, wouldn't he? But we'll see what happens there. Doherty against Arsenal. Is this a concern? I don't know. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I do naturally have a little bit of faith in Arsenal, but Wolves have just been so brilliant and so consistent defending. So, I mean, I'm not going to write that off. And Doherty, potential attacking contributions depending on where he's playing on the pitch. I know that varies a little bit too. Wan-Bissaka, I am very, very happy to own Wan-Bissaka for the rest of the season, really. He's been brilliant. I've just spoken about him just now, but against Bournemouth at home, you really think that he's got to have another clean sheet in him there. Bournemouth have been absolutely rubbish going forward since the break. not scoring any goals yet, and I think they have some of the lowest attacking stats in the whole league as well. We'll see what happens against Newcastle, but for now, Wan-Bissaka is looking really good to just keep that place, keep that nailed on, maybe another assist, probably another clean sheet, so that's all good. Lascelles I've got in there against West Ham. Again, I'm sticking with the 4 at the back because it seems like defenders are doing the business right now, and there's so many defenders I want to have in my team. Newcastle didn't get a clean sheet last week, but in game week 31 plus, but game week 30 plus they got a clean sheet. I think the 2 game weeks before the break they got clean sheets as well, so they're still a very defensively valid team. Lascelles a little bit worrying with his many yellow cards though, that's the only concern there, but for now happy to keep him. Moving on next week, I might not be starting him in the lineup, but yeah, for now he's a little bit of a differential, one of my only differentials, because my team's pretty damn basic if I'm honest. So moving into midfield, KDB against Southampton, definitely a captaincy shout there maybe. He's KDB. He's been doing brilliantly. Don't expect a massive amount against Liverpool, but back up against Southampton, Southampton absolutely rubbish when they're at home. So this might be a real good week to use those Man City players to attack that fixture, because yeah, as I say, Southampton rubbish, absolutely rubbish at home. So we'll see what we can do there with KDB. Martial had a week off. Yeah, he didn't even I don't even think he had any shots or many touches in the box at all, really, Martial, against Brighton. But I still think he's more than capable of doing something. So we'll see what happens there against Bournemouth. I'm fairly confident because it's such a good fixture for the Manchester United guys that they've been rolling over our positions so far. Why can't they do it again? And why can't Martial be amongst it? But for all of us who transferred Martial in, we've got to be a little bit disappointed. I think we all expected a little bit more. And then finally, in my final midfield position, I've got Bruno Fernandes, the absolute beast. Can't believe it. He's got another massive score. He's just unstoppable. Even when he had that game where he didn't get any points, he only got a 3-pointer last week when I captained him. He still was in and amongst every attack. He was always on the ball. I think he got 2 second assists. He was constantly being creative. He could have had an assist for the corner. And you never know when a penalty is going to pop up as well. So again, he's always a player you should have in mind for captaincy, and he's one for consideration as well. Up front, currently I've got Aubameyang against Wolves away. Not so keen on that one, to be honest, because Wolves have been so good defensively, and Arsenal have been very hit and miss attackingly. So, and Aubameyang playing far out on the wide. I'm very happy to give him his last hurrah against Norwich, but I think he's definitely one of the players I've got to think about moving on. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, again, I got him so cheap at like 5.6 million. I think I got 5.7 million I caught him at. So I'm very happy to keep him, and hopefully he keeps rolling on. Spurs, I never really think Spurs are very good in defence. I know a lot of people saying, a game against Spurs, I'm not sure about that one, but I'm always confident that Spurs can concede a couple of goals. So I'm not too worried about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's a cheap guy. I'm not expecting massive things. And then finally, Jimenez against Arsenal. What Arsenal is going to turn up? This is the problem. I do think a player like Jimenez is actually going to bully the Arsenal defence. Surely he is, and I hate to say it as well, but surely that's going to happen. It's got to. So we'll see what happens there. Happy to keep Jimenez. I do want to keep Jimenez, and although I took the hit last week to get Jimenez in, and he didn't score, he blanked. He is a player I want to own long term, definitely. So happy to keep him. So moving on to transfers, and I've got money in the bank, so we can go a few ways here. We can either do Aubameyang down to Jesus. I think Jesus is going to be starting the majority of the remainder of the matches for Manchester City, just because they don't have another striker in their entire squad. By the way, unless they go into like real youth levels, they don't have another striker in their squad. So Jesus has got to be fairly nailed on, unless they're doing some false 9 business, which I expect most weeks they wouldn't. So Jesus is definitely a player I want for Aubameyang, because I don't really want Aubameyang going forward now. And I do want Jesus, but that is taking out even more value from my team, and I'm just going to end up with a massive cash stack. So the other option is, if we go to my bench, McCarthy against City, no chance. Barnes against Crystal Palace, I could play him, but could not. Egan against Burnley, there's arguably a shout to put him in the team, and then Henderson against Aston Villa. I'm not too interested in Henderson. He's sort of just my fifth midfielder, if you like. A fairly expensive fifth midfielder, but fifth midfielder nonetheless, if you'll pardon the tongue twisters. So Barnes to Mahrez is the other option, but I'm not completely convinced by that, just because I've got enough players this week to field a full 11 and then some without having to upgrade someone on my bench. So from that point of view, I'm not confident about Aubameyang. He's the player I'm least confident about this week, just given his price tag, where I could have another premium striker in Jesus, get on Jesus as a differential before everyone else gets on him, and take advantage of that nice fixture away to Southampton, and then maybe look at getting Mahrez in next week when my bench isn't going to look as strong. My first 11, perhaps I'm going to be struggling for an 11th player next week, I think. So next week I think it might be Mahrez week, and this week I think it's Jesus week, and I'll just have all of my money in the bank. So if anyone wants some of my spare cash, help yourself to it. I'm sure someone else could use it much more than I can. But this is what happens when you take out a Salah, you take out a Mane, these premium guys, you end up with all this money and not really much to do with it. So perhaps I should have been keeping a Salah or a Mane anyway, but as I've spoken about before, I'm not too convinced that both of them will be starting every week, and I'd rather not play that roulette. I'd rather stick with players who I know are going to be playing every week, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can concentrate on any other area of my team. So I'm happy with where I am right now. I really am. If I was to do 2 transfers and take a -4, it would be the double Aubameyang down to Jesus, and maybe Henderson up to Mahrez, and then maybe after that I could even do a bench boost, because I still do have the bench boost in the bag. There's definitely food for thought there. In terms of captaincy, it's a bit of a toss-up. KDB, Martial, Fernandes. Do I want to keep swapping between Fernandes and Martial and then never really knowing which one's going to haul on each individual week? I don't think I'm going to go near the defence, but Wan-Bissaka's definitely got to be in for a shout for captaincy against Bournemouth, just because Bournemouth are so rubbish going forward. So, yeah, there's some thinking to do, but for now, for the purpose of this video, after his performance last week and the fact that he didn't play all that many minutes, he came off fairly early, Bruno Fernandes against Bournemouth, I quite like it. So for now, captaincy on Bruno Fernandes, vice captaincy on, we're going to go for a different game. We're going to go for KDB, because I do like to put my vice captain on a different game, just in case a game gets called off, just because all the horrible pandemic-y related business that's going on right now, just in case games are cancelled and what have you. So there we have it. That's what I'm probably going for. Big Jesus up front for the transfer in for Aubameyang. Fernandes the captain. Can we get a penalty? I don't know. We'll see. But I like it. So that's my team going in for game week 33 plus. I hope you do like it. And if you did enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing, sticking around, plenty more FPL stuff. I'll be your FPL best mate. And like the video too if you enjoyed this video, if you take anything about it. And if you think I should do anything differently, what do you think to my team? When do you think I should play this bench boost? Do you think Mahrez could be a better option than Jesus? I'm not going to make my transfer straight away, so any comments that you put in right now, I'm going to be reading and I'm going to be considering. Can any of you change my mind? Because people in the comments have genuinely changed my mind on stuff before. So hopefully that is exactly what will happen. So right, there you go. There's the video. Game week preview video probably tomorrow. More than likely tomorrow. Before some of the games have played, but when most of the games have played. I've got a few things I want to talk about, but I'll ask you guys on Twitter what you want me to talk about as well. So right, I've waffled on enough. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. See you later, mates.